Okay, look like we are good. Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, so hopefully they'll see the link. Or the notification. Just and come on in. Let me check. See what's going on the YouTube
10
side.
already there.
They're there.
Yep, 10 are there.
10. Okay, cool. There's Keish.
Hey, Keish.
Here. Hey.
Okay, so it looks like it's 10 people there. Hopefully they get the notification to stroll back in here. So, I don't know. I had to connect and disconnect and all this good stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Sometimes technology. Yep, I always contend that if Bill Gates can be launching Microsoft 2000 on a global stage and have it bomb and not work, anything can happen to anybody else.
I know. Hey, Nicole. They'll probably get because it's usually delayed. Once it's live, then it's like a minute or two when they'll send out the notification. So,
yeah.
I want to, okay, there's Tina. They're like, we back.
Yay! Hey.
Yes, we are back now. Sorry for the delay. I don't know what's going on, if it has to do something with the weather or something. Sorry about that, you guys. But yeah, we're back. Come on in. Take a seat. And not that type of seat, but you know.
A comfortable seat.
A comfortable seat. I sound out and back. Okay, somebody said I signed out and back in, and yay! Yes, we're back. All right, it's 20 of you guys. Let's get this show on the road because I know we like behind. All right, so I'm going to do a quick introduction once again because this is a whole new video. The other video is probably gone. Welcome back, CBS Soap Dish Recap. T, Keisha, Trish. We're going to recap The Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful for the week of January 8th. January 12th, we do The Young and the Restless first, Bold and the Beautiful second, and then flipping the script at the end, changing if you want to change a storyline or a scene, and who's taking a seat. Somebody that was doing too much or was getting on your nerves. Now, for those that are already in here, you probably heard the summary for The Young and the Restless. So, I am not going to read that again. So, we were originally talking about Nikki and Seth. I think that's where we left off at with the whole thing. I was asking you ladies, what do you think about Seth? Okay, so I don't know who was talking before we got cut off, unfortunately. So maybe you guys can start somewhere. Or I'll just say this. I honestly think that this got to be going somewhere because I know just looking at one of the spoilers for next week, Nikki is going to be drunk again, back in the room where Captain Seth is going to be saving her again. And they're going to be in a hotel room. So I don't know where this is going. And go ahead.
I guess I wonder why does he take her to a hotel room and not home?
Right. That's a good point.
I don't know if that's common practice when you're somebody's sponsor. If you find them in that condition, that you're not supposed to take them around their family or something until they start feeling better. I don't know. I don't know how that works, if that's a thing or not.
What about you? Don't know either, Trish? Yeah, I'm not sure.
I do think that it's a possibility that unless what people are posting, that it's a possibility that Seth is working with Jordan, but it's a possibility that Nikki may have gotten a hotel room and then called him, because Lauren got her the hotel room this time and took her up there. But I don't know, man. I just really don't want that to happen, y'all.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it's necessary for this storyline. Her dealing with her sobriety is enough right now.
Right.
Agree.
Right. God. Let me ask you this. So, because this also ties into Victoria and Cole and Claire. So, that whole scene where Victoria came into the Newman CEO office saying that she wanted to use the jet to take Claire, entitled Claire, over to Oregon. And, they were like, I understand, Nikki, blah, 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 but, I'm going to go ahead and side with Victoria. And Nikki was like, you don't care about what I think? And he was like, I'm caught in the middle. What do you think about that whole thing? I mean, should he have been able to pick a side? Which he did pick a side, even though he said he's caught in the middle.
I thought that I didn't really agree with Victoria and Cole taking her to go see Jordan.
Me either.
Because that whole situation just happened. How much therapy has Jordan had since it's happened? And even if she's been seeing a therapist for the last couple of weeks or however long it's been since she's been in that hospital, that's still not long enough. Like, I feel like she needs to go through some serious therapy before she has any contact with Jordan. And she wants to see her by herself, right? Because didn't Maria and Cole say something about wanting to be in the room with her, and she said, "No, I got to do this by myself."
Well, I mean, okay, and I know we had this conversation last week because I was asking you about these guys. Don't she seem a little bit entitled and making demands? And when she was telling Victoria last week, I don't ever want to see you again. And so I made the whole comment about, you ask for help, you get the help to stay out of prison. They put you in Genoa City because she was supposed to stay her butt in Oregon. They got her to Genoa City. She got a little, some space to get some therapy close to them. And then she turn around and get what she wants and then tell them to get lost. And then she call them back this week and say, oh, yeah, I need to see you one more time. But it's, again, because I need something. I need you to do me a favor. And then she wanted to, before Victoria and Cole actually rejected it, she wanted them to sign off on letting her out to go over to Oregon by herself.
Yeah, that I can't. That whole thing, you don't go. First of all, you're not going anywhere by yourself. You are a ward of the state.
Exactly.
And second of all, why did they allow them to have a meeting without anybody in there? No doctor, no therapist, no. I mean, this woman has kidnapped her and made her a criminal.
Yeah, none of this. I didn't agree with any of this week.
It's not mathin'.
Yeah, I mean, and then she still was making demands. Okay, well, if you do go, you got to stay out the room. I won't talk to her. But I'm like, wait a minute, you're not in the position to make all these conditions. And when Victoria put that on the table with Victor was like, who is she to make demands? But he still ended up giving in anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Where I don't feel like she's in the position to be demanding them do anything for her.
Yeah, because I mean, she technically they could have just left you stayed over in Oregon in the prison next to your auntie. That means they didn't have to get Michael, hire him, move you back to Genoa City, get you a doctor, and all this other stuff that they're paying for, only for you to say, okay, get lost. Oh yeah, but by the way, before you get lost, let me go to Oregon, and you can't go. Oh, you want to go? Oh, if I go to Oregon, I need to talk to Jordan by myself. No, sweetie. I mean, and they keep coddling this girl.
Yeah.
That's what part was irritating me. And like Trish say, why wasn't a therapist or somebody in that room while they were talking? This ain't just some random, oh, I got a visitor, hello, how you doing?
So in the chat, Myra said it was aiding in her therapy. The doctor signed off on it, as far as I guess her going to see Jordan. But I still don't feel like
in the script, yeah, but in real life that never would have happened.
But even like in the script, I still don't feel like it would be a good idea for her to sit in a room with Jordan by herself, considering that Jordan has spent her entire lifetime gaslighting this girl.
I agree. Yep, I totally agree with that. And then she still ended up threatening her.
Yeah, I'd be firing that doctor.
uh, I mean, seriously. I mean, just the thought of it. It wasn't even the physician that talked her from going out of state by herself. They're gonna just let you walk out Memorial and say, "Okay, I'll see you when you get back."
Right.
Here's a day pass for a person that is like an attempted murderer, regardless of the fact that everything else. She was participating.
Oh, girl. Yeah, that part right there. Because I know y'all gave me the blues last week. Y'all was like, no, she's going through her trauma.
Well, she is. She absolutely is.
Definitely going.
And that story is stupid. I mean, I wish they would give us viewers a little bit of intelligence credit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, we want the fantasy stuff, but the fantasy stuff is with the fashion and the makeup and the travels and the love affairs. If there's something going on that's this kind of thing, you need to kind of stick a little more to reality.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, that was crazy. But the fact that Victor was like, who this man, Harpo? I don't know, Seth. And she was like, oh, I've known him for years. He's my sponsor. We have to do anonymity, when it comes to things like that. I'm not shocked Victor asked who this man around his wife. We haven't seen a man around Nikki outside of Victor for probably a good, maybe a decade now?
Been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now you bring in this guy and he's sitting at the table across from her at a restaurant. Victor like, what's going on right here?
Who the heck are you?
Who the heck are you? But he hopped his little butt right out of there and said, oh, you know what? I'm going to let you to it. You in good hands. And then the same thing when he was in the hotel room with her. So it's going to be interesting to see what else is going on with this Seth guy.
I wonder if it'll be more so of Victor just not being trusting of this guy. There's not anything going on, but Victor being Victor, just being skeptical and just doesn't trust this guy, and that's going to be what the drama and the issues are, and not necessarily that
they're doing something.
They're doing anything,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, that could be possible too. Maybe he's just going to be like, kind of get overly suspicious about this guy, and and like you said, it may not be nothing,
Yeah.
So, all right, we got two co-CEOs, and I know is that Keish that don't like the co-CEO thing, right?
I don't. It's something.
Nobody.
I have never. Go ahead, Trish.
I'm sorry, Keisha. I would just said it's a no for me. There's one person makes that final decision.
You know what? It must be a trending thing on TV shows, because I saw another TV show that's totally unrelated to soap operas, and they had co-CEOs, and I'm like, what is with the co-CEO? Y'all can't just pick one?
Right.
I mean, you got so many positions in that C-suite,
And I mean, where does the buck stop? With which one of you? With both?
With Victor.
With Victor.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But I got
the sole major CEO.
Right.
And then the two co-CEOs reporting to that person.
Exactly. Now I
just wonder how long it's going to last this time. How much longer are Adam and Nick going to get along before one of them stabs the other one in the back or undercuts them with something, or some type of drama happens between them, and then he puts Victoria back in the seat again? Because I feel like the last time when we thought Nick and Adam were going to work together well with Sharon's company, that lasted for a week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are we wagering on this? Oh wait, I forgot. I'm in Texas. I can't legally because my state thinks I'm too stupid to know how to gamble with my.
Oh my God! Hey, listen. Bree said Arturo was Nikki's last dude piece.
Oh my God! I totally forgot. That's right.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he visited her.
That didn't last very long, did it?
He ended up with Abby. Remember?
He did.
Yeah, I remember him being with Abby. I just didn't remember how long him and Nikki's thing went on.
No.
How did it even get started?
I don't even remember.
I don't even remember.
I saw when that happened, I was like, oh no.
That's funny.
And then Abby got involved. I'm like, oh, really? No.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and look up those episodes because I can't remember how they started.
That cross pollination was all kinds of no.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, with Nick and Adam, I'm liking the energy between the two of them.
Me too. I wish they would just let them be brothers.
I know, like they can have the little petty bickering that doesn't amount to anything because that's fun to watch them do that. Like they're actually funny together. I wish they would do away with the just all out hate and rage that either one of them has for each other every once in a while.
Well, I will say on Monday's episode,
oh no,
Nick got to throw some stuff out there talking about I know eventually Adam is going to do something to hurt Sally. I'm like, can we not?
Yeah.
Can we not?
Right.
It's not.
Yeah, I'm thinking that he's going to end up with Sharon again, though.
That's what it's looking like. And you know, I have to say, when I saw the preview for next week with the that poster of the new name of the company, that did warm my heart.
Oh yeah, Cassidy.
Yeah.
But
I still, y'all know, I am a Phyllis and Nick fan. So.
Well, that ain't happening.
I know it's not. I know. She blew it.
Yep, that is over. And and like I said, this whole thing between Christine and Phyllis on Monday is just pathetic. I'm just like, come on, lady, it's ridiculous.
I mean, at some point, wouldn't you think that grown women, even if they despised each other, could be adult enough to steer clear of each other? I mean, the energy they're expending is just exhausting.
Yeah, they're both being immature, honestly.
I agree.
It's just, and Phyllis, she just, I feel like she's acting very desperate right now.
Yep, I agree.
Well, she's right back on the desperation trail.
Yep.
So I can't remember. After she kissed Danny and Danny kissed her back, what happened after that with him? Did he say anything to her about...
We're friends. We're friends. I see you changing. You're doing well. We're friends.
And Phyllis still wasn't taking that as a...
He's not
interested.
Well, I mean, you know, he did... It's not like he pushed her away and he went back in for seconds. And he went back in for seconds. So, I don't know. You know, I mean, maybe there's a little something there that he just doesn't want to admit to himself because, you know, it's Phyllis.
I don't want to watch Phyllis basically break her neck to try to get Danny to want to be with her more than he wants to be with Christine. Like, just let it go. Yep. He's not asking Phyllis out on dates like he is with Christine.
He is not.
Yeah, I'm just over it, but they get into a little pettiness on Monday. It's just like, and then the thing is, Christine lies about who planned that trip just to make it look like Danny did it. I'm like, girl.
Yeah, and you know, that's the kind of stuff where her type of person, her type of character is, you're always holier than thou, and then you pull that kind of stunt where, why don't you just be honest?
Exactly.
Right? You know, I mean, who cares? You're the one that's going with him. So even if it was you who invited him, he said yes to you, not her. So why are you not a big enough person to why don't you just go? Just go.
Just go and enjoy yourself and shut up about it.
Right? I mean, who cares? Who invests that much of their time? God, it's just so petty Betty. Come on, man.
Exactly. Now that picture on the screen with Nikki and that coffee, that could make a perfect meme if you ever get a bad cup of coffee.
Yeah. Ooh, it's so bitter.
I have posted on Instagram with that particular picture with the caption under the saying this coffee tastes like, and it says crap, but you know. So
Here's the shot.
oh my goodness, I'm telling you, that face on Nikki is hilarious.
I mean, as dramatic as some of these storylines get, because people go through what her character's going through. You still have to have that lightheartedness when you end the scene where you can kind of let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise it would be kind of sticking to you and you'd be taking it home. So hopefully she got a good laugh out of that coffee cup scene.
Right. Yeah, because that had to be hilarious. Okay, so now we got to talk about the whole thing with the Abbotts. So first, we got Kyle earlier this week punching Tucker in the face.
He's so violent.
Well, I actually thought that maybe Tucker was going to use that against him because technically that's assault.
It is assault. I thought he was going to have him arrested. Did something say that next week Kyle goes to jail?
Oh, I didn't see anything like that.
I saw something that said that earlier, and I can't remember where I saw it.
That's so weak. I can't take Kyle serious.
No. It's it's almost like he's remember the cartoon with the teenagers who, why can't I think, you guys, where it was Betty and Veronica.
Oh, Archie.
Yes, Archie. He's like Archie.
My goodness.
All he needs is a little neck scarf, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has the hair.
Well, I will say that I know y'all say y'all don't take Kyle seriously, but Tucker took that punch seriously.
He did, didn't he? And the way they had his lip all bleeding, that looked real.
Exactly. Now, my question, because Audra broke up with Kyle, well, they broke up with each other. But she turned around and also ended her relationship, business, and I guess personally, with Tucker, too.
Yeah, well, Audra's most important relationship is with Audra.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know one thing. She better be glad she still got that job as a COO over at Newman Media. And I'm like, did you actually expect that that you were going to just take down Jabot and run that company? Really, Audra? I mean, seriously. Go ahead, Keish.
I was going to say, that's why that whole plot just felt so unrealistic and ridiculous to me. Because the way she was talking, she really did think that was going to happen.
I mean, she was convinced that they were just going to take over Jabot and she was going to run it. I'm like, girl, and what island of Delulu are you in?
Right.
That's crazy to me. So, I mean, she licked her wounds, cut ties with these two men, and said, she still got her job. Now, I'm wondering, one word from the Abbotts to Victor and his family and say, hey, she was part of that plot to take down Jabot. She could be out of a job.
But she's been part of how many other plots before this that they all found out about, and they still kept her around. They hired her, and they kept her around all this time.
Yeah.
Nate hired her, remember?
She didn't fall down.
Didn't Nate hire her?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate was the one that hired her as his because he was the CEO, right? At first, before he moved over to Newman.
Of Newman Media, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And she was his COO. She's just been stuck in that position while they do musical chairs over there.
Yeah, but they've allowed her to stay.
That is true.
And if they really wanted to fire Audra, they could have. When they fired Nate, they could have fired Audra.
Yeah, I mean,
or they could have just fired her before that. But I don't see this coming out and them suddenly figuring out that Audra isn't so trustworthy.
Well,
they already know it.
Where does she go from here?
Yeah, that's my question. What's her next move? Because she's been involved in as many storylines as Tucker. So now that she's not in this situation with them, what's next for her? That's a good question, Trish.
Because I don't see the path. I mean, unless they, because Tucker actually defended her today
Mm-hmm.
to that reporter. He held her name out of it and said he needed to check, that guy needed to check his sources. So obviously Tucker's not done with Audra because he just protected her.
Mm-hmm.
So whether she's done with him or not, he still has something for her. So he did that. So now, if she stays at Newman, okay, but where does that go with all the inner workings of the relationship? Is she going to get dragged into Nikki's story? Is she going to take over Nikki's job? Is she, I don't know. Who's she going to date? Where's she going with that?
Yeah, I'm curious to see. And see, this is why I kind of, Keisha, and I know I talked about this with probably both of you guys when Audra first came over and broke up with Noah. I was hoping that Audra ended up with Adam, because he was no longer with Sally. Nicholas was already inserted in that relationship. This would have been the time, because I'm not really invested in Sally and Adam. They had that little weak love scene yesterday that I had to edit on Instagram. But and I still think Hope and Thomas, I'd do better with them. But yeah, this is where they probably could have moved, because they Kim tested Audra, didn't they? Audra and Adam at one point a while back.
They had like a bar scene or something.
Correct.
They couldn't share any physical anything.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that they could have ran with that, but of course, they circled, these two back together again. But go ahead.
I think with Adam and Sally, obviously, I'm fine that they're back together. I do think that they probably took it a little bit slow in the beginning because they're growing their love, and they wanted to have love and make love. But I'm sure they'll probably have steamy coming up too, because you're reconnecting with someone, and it's the whole lovey-dovey thing, and it's the romance, and then other times it's the fast and furious, bust the door open and the buttons are flying. So hopefully we'll, have something like that.
Trish,
You
bust the door opens and the buttons are flying?
Sometimes that's how it goes down. You don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't know either. I don't know.
So she said buttons are flying. You talking about ripping some shirts open?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Trish, you are hilarious.
These people have seamstresses on that set. They can sew those buttons.
How long you been married, Trish?
I have been married for 33 and a half years.
I see why.
Yes, thank you. You're welcome.
Oh my God, Trish, you're hilarious. Anyway.
Keep it spicy.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Okay, but yeah, I kind of, this whole tiptoeing, because I know Adam and Sally is not on the screen, but they were part of some storylines this week. This whole tiptoeing around this date and all of this, I'm like, y'all done been through a whole pregnancy, y'all dated for a while. I don't understand the whole, I'm not saying he got to go in like a bull in a china shop, but it's like, y'all should be more relaxed. Y'all act like y'all just meeting for the first time from a dating app or something.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe it was just them trying to, I don't know, get back acquainted with each other in that way. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, Sally did say she wanted to, didn't she say she wanted to take things slow this time or something with him?
Listen, I'm going to put my sarcasm.
I mean, they slept together twice since her and Nikki broke up, right?
Yeah.
That we know of. So.
Yep. I mean, Adam, go ahead.
I don't know. Like, I was excited about the possibility of the two of them. And then, of course, they threw Nick in there. And then that just kind of dulled my interest in them because of the way Sally was towards Adam during her relationship with Nick. And now it's just kind of like, I don't care either way. Like, they're together, fine.
Yeah, I don't have that same motivation like I did probably a year ago. Because
Yeah.
when they were saying, hey, Adam and Sally is going to get back together, when that December 5th episode of 2022, when everybody was excited that they were going to end up back in bed together, and that scene was the worst scene ever. And then, because they
Mhm.
made it look like it was so not there, which is, of course, what happened, which is what Sally wanted to kind of taste the Kool-Aid to see if the Kool-Aid was still sweet, and it wasn't. And then she ended up with Nicholas the same day. He come walking in the room with the stench still in there. Remember that?
Mhm.
So I
Sure do.
was, yeah, I was just over it at this point. Then they had us back and forth, and Sally treating him like crap, and he's simping, and Nicholas is just going up against his brother. Then we had the baby. Then we lost the baby. It was just, I was just like, I'm over it.
Yeah. The show kind of they ruined for me ruined Adam and Sally.
Yep.
Honey Small said, I need to help Ashley and Phyllis find a man and keep him.
Bree.
Okay, so
Bree.
we'll have relationship advice.
Listen. Oh, yeah. She said, you need to help him.
Y'all, at one time, I actually was going to start a podcast years ago and just call it Trissues.
Oh, that sounds cool.
That does sound cute.
Trissues. Maybe you need to rethink that, Trish.
Maybe I should.
It'll probably be so funny.
Well, I will say that, with married life, you have to have a really great sense of humor, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, but yeah, that's hilarious. Bree is too funny. But going back to this whole Adam and Sally thing, I'm just, just tiptoeing. And that scene was, like you say, maybe, I guess, Trish, down the line, maybe they'll get to the buttons flying. But right
I
now.
hope so. That's much more exciting than what we got.
I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Then we have this other situation with Ashley, because Ashley feel like she's being gaslit, and at the same time, everybody else is saying that ain't what Tucker do, and even Tucker is like, I didn't do that.
I'm gonna need somebody to call the wait staff. That's
right.
I'll go down. I'm gonna need somebody to find the video camera, because I don't like gaslighting, and if it's not gaslighting, then that girl needs some help.
Yeah, I honestly said the same thing, I think, in one of my recaps, that they just need to get some footage of that evening.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. Like, there had to be surveillance or cameras in that restaurant, or even like Tucker said, there was wait staff in there and people in there. Somebody would have witnessed me being
physical,
yelling at you, physical, and throwing glasses. Like, go back to that restaurant and ask.
Yeah, now see, we saw when Lee threw that glass over in Deacon's restaurant on the floor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody noticed, even Deacon. So if Tucker would have threw a glass and threw a chair, they would have threw him out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I gotta mention this comment. Rachel said we need to set up a GoFundMe for Sally, Audra, and Tucker to get an apartment.
Oh, because they're staying in they're staying at the club.
Yeah, they need to get out of that apartment. I mean, she's the COO. You ain't got no apartment. I mean, you ain't got no money.
Right.
Girl, please. What are you doing up in there? I mean, Sally, she getting these businesses and contracts and stuff. Maybe she'll get up out of there or move in with Adam. I don't know.
Well, yeah, give us some eye candy and get them some apartments and let Sally decorate them and show us what she does with the decor. I want to see the fashion, the beauty, the decor, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, I think they need to get that footage from that, that dining restaurant in Paris, and let Ashley look at it and see it for yourself. That'll give both of them some clarity, because if Tucker is gaslighting and she was right, that's a problem too.
I believe Tucker.
I believe Tucker too.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't want it to be true because I don't want us to have to deal with this very sad, heartbreaking alcoholism story in addition to a very sad and scary mental breakdown story at the same time. But I guess if that's what we're being given, obviously that's what I'm going to watch. Cause
you wouldn't go around asking people, well, would he do this? Would he do this? You would know
Right.
what you saw.
yeah,
It's that meeting that the meetup that she had with Audra.
Mm-hmm.
Basically trying to get Audra to agree with her that Tucker is a volatile person, like that level.
Right. What you laughing at, Trish?
Monique.
What she say?
You're just going to have
Oh
to
my
read it.
God. See there, you didn't start talking about Trissues. Now they got everybody is talking
You
about.
big mouth.
Did you see that comment, Keish?
Can't teach. Oh.
You better be glad.
Well, Trish.
Listen,
We went from first to fourth really fast.
right, and you better be glad that J Money ain't in here because he
Oh,
would probably
Lord.
add on top.
And the saving grace of this moment. Oh man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this would have turned into something else really quick.
I know.
I mean, we can all go in the ditch, but whoo, man, we getting under the sewer now.
I know, right? Good grief. But that does sound like a cool name, Trish, though.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
I am rethinking that stuff, but I know we're on a PG channel, so
Right.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You got to do that in the privacy of your own podcast. All right. Okay, dokie. So, yeah, hopefully Ashley can get some clarity because honestly, gaslighting is extremely emotional abusive. It's extreme emotional abuse because you're questioning your sanity.
Yeah.
You know, and when you have highly toxic people, highly sociopathic people, you know, have you watched, any of you guys watched that movie from, I think it was 1940, talking about, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's a must-see.
Yes, it is. And that's where that term come from. So I'll just give you an example. Say you sitting in a room, Keish, and it looked like the lights are getting dim, right? But everybody is telling you, no, nothing's happening. The lights are fine. What do you mean? And you know it's getting dim. You see the lights are getting dim. And so over and over, if somebody's persistent with that, you begin.
The movie for the gaslight.
One.
Yeah, it's an older movie.
I have to look it up.
What is